Okay, welcome to the channel, Budget Audio Review and Upgrades. Today I'll be looking at this Celestion DL4 Series 2 speaker. Made in the late 70s, maybe into the early 80s. This would have been towards the bottom of their range. They've done a DL6, a DL8, DL10, and also an upmarket version, the SLs, with the same numbers. Now if we spin it round, we'll start as it is here. This is a 25mm titanium dome tweeter. And this is an 165mm paper cone driver. Now the speaker itself is 384mm by 208 by 218, weighs 4.8 kilos, and we'll have a look actually at the back there. There's the connections at the back. Now this is 75 watts, 89 decibels, and 8 ohms. So if we just have a look, I'll show you a picture of it on the floor there. That's with the driver taken out. That's with the tweeter. As you can see, quite a big magnet on the tweeter. There's a quick look at the crossover. I tried to get in there as best as I could. And another quick look at the rear. Okay, how did these speakers actually sound? First of all, these are late 70s, early 80s speakers, and I kind of matched them up, as all my amplifiers and receivers are from that era anyway, with a Sansui AU101 amplifier, which was a budget amplifier at the time, and still gets good reviews these days, for a budget amplifier, don't forget. Sansui 331 receiver, which again gets good write-ups, the reviews you watch on YouTube, etc. Marantz 1530 receiver and a Marantz MR215 receiver, and these range from 10 watts or 12 watts a channel right up to 30 watts. I've tried them on this table. I do like putting them on the table because not everyone's got speaker stands, shelf units there. Some people just have it in the table in the room or wherever. A side unit I've got there, and also I've got a shelf at the back which is about 6 foot off the ground, something like that. And I've got a pair of Target speaker stands. I try them on, though they do recommend in the manual you use stands, and they recommend that these are quite a weighty stand with either sand or lead shot rigid stands they recommend. So yeah, I have them about, I think it's about 2 foot roughly from each wall. They're in the corner, 2 foot from the corner, so to speak, each wall when I use them on the stands. First thing you're going to notice when you first put your first record or CD or whatever on, that these speakers are quite open sounding. They've got quite a big sound stage, quite a bit of depth to them, so to speak. They're quite open sounding speakers, and they can sound a little bit mid-rangier as well. I thought sounded a little bit, the mid-range was a bit forward on these, a bit more prominent, should I say, the mid-range. So if you're into vocals and instruments in that frequency range, you're going to like these because they're really going to bring them out, that's for certain. So if you're into vocals and that, these are going to be ideal. And the vocals sounded nice, they did sound nice, male and female. Now the bass itself, I found it was a little bit shy to start off with. The more you put the volume up, it got better, the bass, and that's also to say the bass was a little bit, I found it a little bit cramped, the bass just a little bit cramped. Could have done a bit more detail in the bass. There's a little bit on the flabby side as well with the bass. It sounded better on slower tracks as you would expect. Just a bit cramped and a little bit on the flabby side, the bass. So that's that. Didn't ruin it at all. Nothing like that. I mean, didn't get in the way with the other frequencies, anything like that. Just the way it sounded. The top end was nice. The top end was nice. It went higher. No, the top end went higher than the Celestial Freeze, which are more of a warmer sounding speakers. These are more of a neutral sounding speakers, really, even though the mid-range was more prominent. But the treble sounded fine. There's nothing wrong with the treble. That sounded nice. Could have been just a little bit more detailed, maybe a little bit more crisper, so to speak, a little bit more detailed. But other than that, it was fine. The treble. And what else have I got? Yeah, I mean, if I'm on to sum these speakers up, another word I've got written down here I haven't used yet is that they could sound a little bit hollow in places because it's quite open. There's a bit, like say, mid-range forward. They could sound a little bit hollow sometimes in places. But yeah, the words I've got written down here just to sum it up really, they're open, they're mid-rangey a little bit, and they could sound a bit hollow. So it really, does sum these speakers up really. I'll definitely recommend them. You can get quite a nice sound out of them. So they're definitely recommended. They're not a bad speaker at all. They're quite a good speaker. For the money you're going to pay, £40 or £50, 30. I mean, I've got these for 30, so 30, 40, £50, $40, $50 US, Canada, Australia, places like that. Definitely worth picking up if you're after a pair. That's for certain. Definitely wouldn't put you off of them. That's for certain. Okay, so that's it then really. On to the next set of speakers or whatever else I come up with in the next video. Until then, I say thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.